So you can use Walt Whitman to catch the imposter in Among Us.
That was a bit of an exaggeration, but it gets towards the reason I'm making this video: the interpretation of Whitman and Dickinson considering our modern world. So many little words change the meaning of the overall poem when viewed in a modern context. Take Crossing Brooklyn Ferry, for example. At the beginning of the poem, there's the line, "Crowds of men and women attired in the usual costumes, how curious you are to me." That word costumes would make someone think, oh, Halloween costume. But why would these be usual? It turns out that back in Whitman's time, the word costume meant a set of clothes for a particular occasion. Let's say the reader didn't look that up. That means they go the rest of the poem thinking about people in line for the ferry in Halloween costumes. For Dickinson, this is far more impactful because of her shorter poetry. In this poem, she writes, "I'm nobody. Who are you? Are you nobody too? Then there's a pair of us. Don't tell, they'd advertise, you know." I can't help but think of social media when I read this. People enjoy a great deal of anonymity online, and advertisement has become the most pervasive in our lifetimes than any other time in history. What's my point? Well, it's clear that a reader now would have a different reading of poetry than a reader from the 19th century. So, this gets a bit into literary theory. Should we interpret a text as closely as we can, finding the oldest meaning of the words? Or should we allow ourselves to have a little creative freedom, applying these poems to our own society? I think both are valid forms of study. Putting yourself in the shoes of a 19th century poetry lover can be fun, and performing a modern reading of an old poem can sustain the meaning of it far past the death of the author. So yes, you can use Walt Whitman to help you find the imposter in Among Us.